Everybody, and thanks to my team for greeting everybody. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Bev. She's been scrambling in the background trying to help people sign in who just logged on late. So I see we have a really nice group gathered here. Let's see. I want to just chat for a minute or two before we really get started. So to give others who are just signing in a chance to get settled. So it's 11 a.m. here in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I am. I want to thank Janine Quigley, my dear friend, whose house I'm using for this. Good internet. That's always important when we do an online event, and a beautiful backdrop. I want to thank my wonderful husband, Ty, who was once again schlepping around all my equipment and helping make sure that everything works. Yeah, we have a really nice group gathered here to help build the energy where I'm present, but I want you all to know that your energy makes a difference as well. And I don't know if you're like me, but I've been feeling the energy building all morning. So I thank all of you for what you're contributing to this. So let's see. I've done several of these online in the past, and we love to do the channeling sessions for charity. And our charity this time, as all of you know who signed up, is Care Camps for Kids. We're going to bring on Jennifer Mercer. So Bev, if you can find Jennifer. Hey, there we go. There's somebody I don't recognize. You must be Jennifer. Yay, nice back. Hi, Jennifer.
Great job, Bev. Oh my goodness. Hallelujah. You did a wonderful job.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being so patient. I've been so excited to see you all and say thank you for all you're doing.
Yes, well, let's see. I'm going to ask my team something. They said, tell her first. I was going to say, you tell us about care camps, and then I'll tell you what we raised. And the guides say, no, tell everybody first. So we have over 650 people registered, and they're still coming in. And everybody, every single one made a donation. So thank you to everyone. And we were going to be writing a check on behalf of everyone and the guides and spirit to care camps for $24,500. Yay. So Jennifer, it's going to go straight to you. And how is that money going to be spent, please?
Oh, wow. I think you should have saved that until the end. I am so grateful to all of you. Thank you, Suzanne and Ty. Ty, for reaching out in the first place and bringing this to Suzanne's attention. Every single one of you on this call. So this amazing contribution is going to change the lives of thousands of children who are going through an incredible battle. Your donations you're choosing to make a positive difference in the world, and you're going to help a child battling cancer, along with your entire family, find joy and healing outside of a hospital setting through some amazing programs that we have serving every single community in the United States and Canada. Children battling cancer go through so much, as do their families, and what Care Camps programs offer them is incredible joy in the midst of such heartache. It brings them connection to other children and other families who are going through the same thing. And quite honestly, it's one of the biggest parts of the healing experience. Most kids will tell you that camp not only changed their life, but many kids will tell you that camp actually saved their life. Because the hardest part of their cancer journey, it isn't always just the chemo and the radiation and the treatments that everyone thinks about. It's actually dealing with the emotional heartbreak of losing friends that don't understand what to say or do in the midst of something like this. And so you all are bringing joy and positivity to the world and really helping parents navigate a battle that no one should have to navigate along with these kiddos. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming on and representing the organization and all the kids. And again, thank you to every single one of you who contributed. And with that amount, I'll say it again, $24,500. I know many of you gave when you probably are stretched thin at this time, and many of you were able to give more. And so that amount is just such a blessing. 100% of every bit. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So Bev, if you, just so we don't have any technical difficulties, if you could take Jennifer back to guest, we'll go on. Bye-bye, Jennifer. Boy, she's beautiful, huh? Inside and out. Okay, so the way today is going to go, I wanted to spend at least an hour with you all, and Sanaya usually talks for 30 to 45 minutes. I never know how long they're going to talk, and that was just a little short. So this morning, lying in bed, they said, share one of the miracles. And I thought that that's what we'd do. I share a little story with you. Miracles, of course, being when the veil parts and we know that we're part of something so much greater, that we're not just these bodies. And so I'll tell Bev right now, Bev, this part of the video, this is just going to go to the people that had the link. Anybody that is not part of today, we're just going to share the Sanaya session. But I just wanted to share with all of you a couple special stories, and then I'll get into the channeling. So those of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel may know that in the last 2 days, I posted my favorite story of all that had to do with Archangel Michael. When he first came to me and the miracles that unfolded after that, I absolutely could not deny that archangels are real. And in fact, that showed me what most of the people who follow my work really love, because in only 2 days, it has 3 times the views that a video at the 2-day mark normally has. We've had 15,000 people giving a thumbs up to that one already. So the guides this morning said, tell the angels are real story. So the way that one goes is that when I first started working as a medium, I couldn't deny that the spirit world is real. I was connecting to people's loved ones who had passed with stunning evidence, no doubt about that. But angels, I was a bit on the fence about, are angels real or not? And you have to understand my background, of course, Navy commander, very left brain, in the military for over 20 years. So we didn't exactly talk about angels in the military, although there are plenty of people in the military today who believe in angels. I just wasn't one of them. So when I began doing mediumship, I felt an urge to share the messages of hope with others. And one of the very first presentations I ever gave was at a Mind, Body, Spirit conference in North Carolina. And I gave my talk to a large group about the fact that our loved ones who pass are still right here. And afterwards, a lot of people came up to me to talk. They were all excited about the talk, about the content of the presentation. And these 3 ladies hung out kind of in the background till the whole line was gone. And then they stepped in and they were bubbling and excited. And they said, we have to tell you, the whole time you were talking, there was this great big angel standing behind you. And I learned to keep a straight face. And so inside I'm saying, okay, sure. All right. If you saw that, that's fine. I've never seen that. And outside, I just said to them, well, that's beautiful. I'm glad you had that experience. And they're sitting talking to each other. And the one said, I think it was Archangel Gabriel. And the other one said, no, I think it was Azrael. Now I had to look this up later. And the one said, Azrael's the angel of death. And I'm thinking, well, that sounds kind of ominous. And this one says, no, but it's perfect. You're a medium. You help people with death. So they went on, and I just thanked them again. And they turned to leave. And the strangest thing happened. As the 3 of them were walking away, I was overcome with love. Well, now I know that's not so strange. That was just spirit saying, it's all spirit. Celebrate this moment. And out of character, I sense telepathically to these 3 women, I love you. And one of them, in perfect timing, turned around, looked at me and said out loud, I love you too. And she turned around and started to walk away. I was so stunned at the perfect timing when I hadn't spoken out loud. I reached out and I touched her shoulder and I turned her back around and I said, why did you just say that? And she just gave me this very knowing look, turned around and walked away. Well, oh yeah, some of the people here are rubbing the goosebumps. I am too, and I hope you are too. You just couldn't deny a moment like that. So I went home when I got back to Florida, where I lived at the time, went out to the Barnes and Noble and got 3 books on angels and started reading about them, saying, okay, let me learn more about these angels. Now, today, I would know to ask the angels to come to me, teach me. All of you can do that. But at the time, I'm all into books. So I'm reading about the angels, but I'm still not quite convinced. There's nothing like personal experience. And I ask all of you to set the intention to have a greater connection with the angels that surround all of us. So that very same week, later that week, I was doing readings and a woman came for a reading in my house. She sat across from me. I tuned in. I can't remember how many people we got, but one woman in spirit stood out so clearly. All of a sudden, she's in my awareness and in my system. She's standing in front of me. That means she was a non-blood relative. I described her to my client. There's this older woman here. I feel great affection from her to you, but she's not a mother. She feels more like a friend. She's showing me you with another friend, and the 3 of you are sitting around holding hands. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I was really, really new to mediumship at the time. This is easily a good 11 years ago. And I said, and now this woman she's dealing out cards like this. Is this making any sense to you? And my client looked all choked up. She said, yes, yes, this was a dear friend of mine. I love her with all my heart. We used to pray together, a circle of 3. We would sit and hold hands. That's what she's showing you. And this motion, she read the tarot cards. So 2 beautiful pieces of evidence that this was her friend. So I tuned in more to this friend, connected my heart again with hers, and I started laughing. I turned to my client and I said, well, your friend just looked at me. She crooked her finger and she said, angels are real, which cracked me up. I thought it was a funny moment when my client suddenly burst into tears. And I said, what? That's a beautiful message. Why are you crying? And she said, Suzanne, I stood outside your door and I said to my friend in spirit, I want to hear from you more than anyone else, but I really need to know it's you. So if it's you, when you show up, would you please talk about angels? So, I haven't thought of that story in so long. And this morning, like I said, my guide said, tell a miracle story. And I said, well, which one? It needs to be one people haven't heard in a long time, because a lot of you I know follow my work. And I have a list of the miracles. And I hope that all of you will have your own list. And I just got to like number 2 in the list, and it said the angels are real, and brought all those memories back. So I hope that you'll celebrate as real as well. Angels in our lives. So today I'm going to be connecting with my team of guides. Quite a few, I'm sure, are angels. And I really don't go to the trouble of figuring out who are you, Sanaya. It's a group, as many of you know. And Archangel Michael is one of them. The group changes from time to time. I don't know who will show up today, but that's why at times Sanaya speaks and says I, and sometimes they speak as we, and sometimes in the same paragraph change from I to we. I don't worry about that. It's all about the energy and what they have to share with us today. So please tune into what you're feeling as I'm channeling, and know that this is an experiential event, so that all of us get to feel that higher energy. But all of us also create one field of energy in which I'll be channeling today. So I appreciate the love that you bring to this. And so to turn that up a little, why don't we just begin with an invocation to come together as a group and remind ourselves why we've gathered in the first place. I love it. Everybody here that's gathered, they all just put their feet flat on the floor, and the energy shifted right away, so we can feel that all the way around the world with everybody who's gathered. So let's just close our eyes for a moment to shut out the outer world and picture yourself in a shaft of white light that connects the 2 worlds, the physical world and the non-physical world. And you are right in that shaft of light, all of us dissolving into that light in awareness that we are expressions of the one light. Let's take a nice deep breath into the heart And slowly let it out as we all just relax into this moment. And nothing brings us more into alignment with our true nature than gratitude. So please bring to mind something that you're truly grateful for in this moment. And I am so grateful for this opportunity to be the voice of spirit and to use it to help all the children who now get the chance to go to care camps, thanks to all of you right here. So let's just turn to gratitude onto ourselves for a moment and thank ourselves for answering that call and being here. And now turn up your own heart light and send it outwards in rays of light, connecting us all as one group today with the soul purpose, SOUL purpose, of reinforcing what our soul already knows, that at a deeper level we are all connected. And may we come to feel that connection even more through our presence and participation here today. I ask my guides to step in. Sanaya, I'm here to be your voice today. May I get out of the way more than ever before so that you can speak as clearly as possible with the message you've prepared for us today. May each of us hear exactly what we need to hear, and may we be changed by this experience for the better. May healing take place for those who need it. And we ask for spirits, prayers of protection of those in the path of Hurricane Ida today, and anyone else going through any challenges. We thank you so much for looking out for us. And so it is. All right. Thank you, everybody. All right. So I know Sanaya is real. I know many of you have heard the stories of my little dog, Rudy, when I would prepare to do a channeling session, and Rudy would look around the room, seeing beings that even I couldn't see until I tuned in. And I'll just share with you one more short story of the only time that I've ever seen with my physical eyes evidence of my guides. I was in a darkened room tuning into the guides, yet I opened my eyes and it was a blackout situation. Couldn't see anything, and yet I had tuned into the team, and suddenly I saw before me this dancing blue and white flame, very much like a gas flame on a stove, but huge, this big in front of me, dancing. And I looked at it and I thought, is this an optical illusion? Is it just from my eyes? And I turned my head to the right and it stayed over here. And then it danced over here in front of me. And I heard, this is us. We're all this light. Only in this reality, in the physical reality, we see each other as bodies. Take away the bodies, and what remains is the light. So that's what we're going to tune into today. So let's see. As always, I have no idea what Sanaya is going to talk about. It's surely going to have to do with love and oneness. And after a certain point, they always take questions. And the way we're going to handle those is you can put questions in the question box, and Bev will look at them. And when Sanaya says, is there a question? Bev has such a great connection with her main guide, who she calls Carolyn. And she asks Carolyn, light up the question I'm supposed to ask. So it's, again, this nice working with your spirit team to know just the question that will benefit the whole group. So those are the kinds of questions to put in there. And of course, Sanaya, the most questions they ever took was 13, and it was so funny because Bev had a list in advance and she only had 13 questions, but I didn't know that at a session once, and she was starting to panic, and she said, I don't know why I was panicking, Suzanne. Later on, she said, they always know what's going on. But we're taking questions live now, and please also know that questions that aren't answered, Bev is likely not going to ask them because she already knows they're on the frequently asked question page on my website. And they're those questions that a lot of people always ask. So it leaves me a little bit nervous at the human level because I have no idea what's going to be asked, but it's this total faith and trust in Sanaya that everything is perfect. So let's see, anything else we need to say? No, we're good. So again, you guys are the battery chargers, all of you. So know that no matter where you are in the world, just turn up your love light, open your heart and send love with intention to Suzanne and Sanaya. And whoa, it just happened. You're doing it already. So it's working, and just keep it going. And it's going to take me, I don't know how long, less than a minute probably, because they're already very present, but to get into an expanded state of awareness, expanded enough so that when let me turn this down just a little, when I begin speaking for them, it'll just flow. That's it. Okay. So with that, I'm going to go into that expanded state, and we'll welcome Sanaya. So thank you, everybody. Okay, so you guys can turn it up too. Here we go. Good day to all of you. And we normally begin by saying good evening, but of course you are gathered around the world, and know that in our reality, the sun always shines, and there is no time, and there is no worrying, am I going to be late? We are always on time, for there is only now. The more that all of you can come to practice being present and knowing what it truly means to be here and now in awareness, the greater the peace you will find. For surely you have noticed when you are not present in this moment, and there truly is ever only this moment, then the mind begins to wander as it will. It goes to the past and digs up all sorts of memories, most likely the ones you would label bad. We do not like labeling things good or bad, for that gives a certain tone to words. Yet there is a vibration that will bring you down or bring you into alignment with your true nature, which is loving kindness and goodness. So there goes the human mind wandering into the past. And because it is the human aspect of you that goes away from the present moment, it will look for that lower vibration. Oh, your media moguls do know that truth very well, for they will put before you only the negative. Is this not so? For then you will remain attached to the drama. Going into the past will almost always bring up drama, whether it is what you label good or bad. But going into the past can often bring you suffering, for you have given meaning to all memories. And there is nothing wrong with this, for the more you stay present, the more you become aware of the human tendency to do this. And then, of course, from the past, the human mind wanders off into the future, where catastrophizing takes place. Can you not identify with this? We are trying to keep the mood light here and not make it seem as if this is an awful thing that the human mind does. We look upon you with neutrality. That isn't that interesting frame of mind that behooves you all to remain in as you go into the future, which could go in any direction, could it not? For the future dips into the sea of all possibilities, and yet Because you are human and from your caveman nature, you are programmed for self-protection, to look for danger. As that human mind wanders off into the future, it is looking for those possibilities that might endanger you. Can you see how dangerous in a non-physical way, but a suffering way, it can be for the untamed human mind to wander at will? Well, rein in that human mind, why don't you? But not with insistence. Do you see how the human hands come into fists and there is tension in the body as soon as you try to control the human? And good luck with that. Yes. But what is most helpful is when you ask your guides and angels, please assist me in remaining present. Help me to notice those things which I am missing because my mind is wandering. Catch my attention with a beautiful flower. Catch my attention with something I might not have noticed, and help me to remain there in my focus, so that I might enjoy a surprising moment. And if you have information for me, guidance for me, that I would have missed while my little monkey mind was chattering away and dropping peanut shells on the ground all around me, that distract me from what is right before my eyes and right here welling up in my awareness, help me to notice this. Keep that monkey mind at bay for me, will you please? Do you see how your guides are simply waiting for you to ask for their assistance with the most mundane things? They can sound a little bell in your ear, as it were, to say, you are wandering again, come back to center. And we hear you well. Some of you in this moment said, yes, but how do I do that? How do I come back to center? And all of you have just done that with that beautiful, deep, relaxing breath. That is all it takes. And yet, when the mind is caught up in its wandering, it is even challenging for many humans to remember to breathe. Are you aware, as this one has taught, that when you are thinking deeply, you cease breathing? Notice the breath. Practice the deep breathing whilst walking, whilst doing the dishes, whilst doing any mundane practice, and you will benefit from it. So we do so enjoy sharing with you practical tools when we get the opportunity to speak with you. And we wish to change topics now and speak a bit about these camps for the children. You look upon these camps and we most certainly understand the dismay you feel that children of all humans at all stages would have to go through a process such as suffering with an illness such as cancer. And we are aware that there is one member who was questioning the motive behind contributing money to a camp for happiness for the children when the money could also go to a cure for cancer. An interesting point to raise, is it not? Always you face choices, and in this case, where to give a beautiful donation of your hard-earned money. And know that it matters not where that money goes from an angelic point of view, as long as it comes from the heart. In this case, you are providing happiness. What a gift. There is always enough money to go around. This is part of the challenge for humans to understand, and the money will continue to flow for a cure. But today, what we would like to share with you is that this cancer is not a punishment for the children, not in any way. And we wish you to also understand that the souls of all those at any age who suffer from an illness are fine. They remain shining lights. It is the physical body that suffers, of course. We cannot deny that in your physical form there is suffering, but the soul remains in an equanimical state, always aware, for the soul is always here and now. It is the human aspect of you that goes into the wandering, but we digress. Know that these children did not bring this cancer upon themselves. And we ask you all to keep the energy high as we delve into a subject which has the tendency to bring the human nature down. Keeping in awareness that the soul of anyone going through an illness is always fine, whether that illness be mental, physical, or spiritual. Cancer, you understand well, it is when certain cells in the body attack other cells. This is contrary to nature itself, is it not? For nature is a direct expression of source, and you are direct expressions of source. And source has experiences. You may call source God, you may call source consciousness, whatever you wish to call this field of all possibilities. It comes into manifestation for the experience of these possibilities. And evolution is the result. Why come into manifestation if not to create something better, more beautiful, something that progresses and adds to what beautiful thing has already been produced? Yet in your physical world, you have dualities. You have what you consider bad and good. Turn up the energy, please, for this is a quite long explanation that we wish to share with you through the medium. Thank you. And so with that explanation, you can understand why it is opposite to evolution for one cell to attack another. And yet, as above, so below is a phrase that holds truth at all levels of being. As a cell attacks another cell, and you come to understand that humans, all of you, and all of creation, created beings, are cells in the one body of humanity, or whatever the creation you are speaking of. As you attack each other, you are creating a cancer in your world. What you are seeing as cancer arises in your world is a direct reflection of the state of consciousness of your world. And all you need do is look at the negative news on your internet or your television sets to understand there is a cancer at work here. Can you now understand how bringing happiness to children is actually helping to find a cure? Many of you will ask, did the souls of children with cancer sign up for this? Hear us well. In many cases, the answer is yes, but not in all cases. To see a child in physical form suffer causes humans to pay attention, to want to make a difference. You see an older person suffer when they are not part of your family. We understand it is the human way to say, oh, what a shame, and then go on your way. But to see a child suffer, who can deny? We must do something. This goes against the grain. And there are those souls who agree to come into a body that they are well aware from the genetics has a propensity for this cancer to occur. Now, we are not placing blame on the parents here as well, and we say this with firmness, but with love. You are all members of the same body of humanity. All bear the same responsibility to love one another, to oust this cancer, which affects all of you, and any negativity, any fighting one against the other. And we hear you wanting to place blame upon that other now, is a cancer upon the entire body of humanity. Yes, you have toxic chemicals in your world now. Yes, you have foods that are probably not the best for some of you to be eating. We could go on and on with the list of cancer-causing agents, but that is at the physical level. You are speaking now to angels, dear friends. From our level, we wish to up-level you and understand that the greatest cancer begins at the higher levels, beyond the physical body, at the spiritual level, where there is a dearth of positivity, not the soul level, the bridge between the soul and the human body, where you make choices here and now, moment by moment. Will I respond with love, or will I act out in anger? And oh, it is the human way to reflexively act out. We understand this, but only by practicing presence. Do you see how we come back around to this? By being present, by hearing that little alarm in your ear, in your head, go off and say, ah, I am about to make a choice. Is it based on the past and my belief system about this group of people, or this person, or this should, or this have to, or this need? Yes, that is the past. If I am present, I can take a breath. I can tune in to guidance from my guides, align with my true nature, which is love. And we speak now to every one of you, whether or not you have experienced your true nature, understanding that every one of you is the expression of God. What a responsibility. And every one of you carries a responsibility to shut out cancer in your lifetime. Happiness is aligned with love. Joy is your true nature. In that moment of taking a breath, pause and recall a moment of joy. Now, what are you going to give back in this moment? Each choice that you make is like a cell greeting another cell. We love you all so very much. Would that you could harness all of the love that we pour upon you moment by moment. Your choices would be oh so easy. Simply become aware you are human. You will react as human beings. But the more you make it your cause to eradicate the sickness that affects the human nature, the more human nature will evolve. You are directly responsible for this and for your own happiness. So cast not blame upon another for causing your own anger, your own unhappiness. You, dear friends, control that choice. We will help you. Ask for our help. You are in human nature camp, interacting with others. And oh, many of you most likely have memories of camp, and it was not always fun. And life, we understand, is not always fun in human form, but it can be joyous, moment by moment, as you work connected with us through the soul, and the heart is the bridge. Join us, won't you? And eradicate the cancer that affects you all. Thank you for allowing us to share this message with you today. And we welcome questions on any topic that benefits the whole group gathered here. Would that you could see the light emanating from your planet at this moment. You as a group, do not think you are small. You are having ripple effects that are seen from the angelic realms. You make a difference. Your commitment to this path makes a difference, and we honor you. Do not put us on a pedestal. It is we who put you high up as the torch bearers. Is there a question, please?
Yes, Sanaya. Susan asks, how can we best pray or lift up those people and animals who live in the areas of military conflict right now?
You do it with your thoughts. You can do it in this moment. You already are doing so now. As you did in your opening prayer, send those ripples out. It is why we have just said to you that we can see the effects of this group turning up the light. Understand that there is no geographical difference between you and those in areas of conflict now at the level of the soul. So from the soul level, send your peaceful thoughts. You may not have an immediate awareness of making a difference, but there would be individual stories of miracles taking place, of individuals finding moments of peace when surrounded by terror. And know that you are directly responsible for those who take a breath and suddenly are infused with the awareness, I am not alone. This is but an inkling of the difference your prayers make. Hear us well. Every prayer is heard.
Thank you.
And you will
Jennifer,
turn up the energy as we go through this question period, and it is much appreciated. Please continue.
Jennifer asks, can we communicate with interdimensional beings simply through meditation or telepathy?
You are communicating with interdimensional beings at this moment. You have just asked your question through an intermediary known as Beverly. And yet you need not use an intermediary nor a medium at any time to connect with any expression of consciousness of God at any level. For you, dear ones, are also the self-same expression of that source. Coming to know this, you understand that source is talking to itself at multiple levels and choosing to have the focus, the awareness as you and as that other. So merely by activating the heart and a cord, an energetic cord from the heart to the recipient of your intention, that cord lights up and a conversation ensues, be it telepathically, which is without words, be it spoken aloud. You may also do it in writing. Any method works, but it is the belief, the intention, whatever visual you choose to use. This is the key to making it happen. Silence will allow you to hear, feel, sense whatever conversation takes place in reverse. Do not hesitate to engage when you sense a presence, and most definitely simply affirm that any conversations and interactions you have will be of the highest energy, for you are always protected as you remain aware, I am the light of consciousness. And another, please.
Thank you. Debbie says, I'm concerned about the path we are on environmentally. It seems like my grandkids won't have a future. Can you shed any light on what can be done to change this path?
Most definitely. In the first place, notice the bit of fear that comes with that concern. Affirm that as you remain aware of the need to take care of Mother Earth as her children, that you are making a difference. And now with this awareness, take whatever efforts you can and encourage others to do the same. Consciousness has shifted. There is awareness that yes, your earth has resources and they must be protected, but casting blame is not the highest way to take care of this. In all efforts, as you can come from the heart, to do so from the soul level, you will break down walls of resistance in those who feel that we must do this, you are wrong energy. As you do that kind of blaming and pointing fingers, you are remaining in human mode. Can you feel the difference that we see energetically when you acknowledge, yes, we have a challenge, and it is also an opportunity for us to learn to go to the soul, to find our connectedness, not only with each other, but with the planet that hosts us. And from this place of the heart, encourage others to come from that same place and make changes, not because it will bring them more success, more money, more creature comforts, but because it is the helpful, loving, kind thing to do. This kind of answer, of course, relates to all issues that all of you deal with. As long as you come from the heart, you will break down barriers and find greater success in your endeavors. You will find others more willing to help you instead of a bellicose. This one is missing our word. Who can provide the word? Bellicose state of mind. Thank you very much. We hope you understand the difference it makes to come from the soul related to the heart and from human nature. Us versus them is quite different than we are all in this together. It is our mothership. We must keep her in good shape. Is there another question?
Thank you. Jean-Pierre says, I've heard that our loved ones go first to the astral realm after they pass from this world. Could you explain what the astral realm is?
Would that we could explain it to you without words, for there will be many among you who will say, no, but I have heard it is the fifth dimension, and I have heard it is the place between here and there, and I have heard it is going to the light and not going to the light. And so we will do our best to give it to you in energetic terms. Instead of giving labels to different levels, understand that all there is, no matter where or how you find yourself, is an experience in awareness. Look about you now. You call this the physical world. It has certain attributes. You recognize these. Immediately upon leaving the body behind, at the point of what you call death, you experience a new experience in awareness with different rules for that environment. No longer are you affected by gravity. No longer are you looking at your watch, for all appears to be happening only in the now. You may call this the spirit world, the astral realm, whatever you call it. It is an ongoing experience of awareness of you, the soul. And there may come a time when you shift to another experience, perhaps more expansive, perhaps no longer quite so familiar to the human story with bodies of light and such, but instead now with simply dancing lights of blue and white. Where have you recently had this image? Did that come from a level above the astral level, or was it merely a different experience interpenetrating into this current experience? You are an eternal being as a soul. An expression of source is a definition for soul. And that soul has experiences that are ongoing. This is the meaning of eternal. And it is the nature of the soul to want to define those experiences. And so at the human level, you may give them names, but this limits the experience. Understand that even now, whilst in this human experience, you may travel as a soul to levels, if you wish to call it that, but merely different experiences of consciousness, of awareness. May you have great fun during these adventures. May you play and may you learn, and may what you learn be brought back into this experience here and now for the evolution of all souls. We will entertain a few more.
Thank you. This is anonymous. Does karma exist, and do we carry it from lifetime to lifetime?
There are, once again, various definitions for karma. And so without giving a definition to the word, may we tell you that you are not one soul having one individual lifetime. You are the light of consciousness having various experiences focused in this moment on your human experience as this particular story and drama of what you call my life. As that soul evolves, it desires to have certain experiences. It is well aware of all of the experiences going on, and we will not go into time and simultaneity, for we would blow a few circuits in doing so. But we will tell you that the soul is well aware that there are certain opportunities that it can experience that will lead to greater growth. And yes, that might include taking on a body with a propensity for a certain illness, for the opportunities for those around that being to turn up the love, to make more loving choices, to care for that one, to accept, to learn how thoughts affect suffering, and so on. And so the soul may say, in this experience here, we dealt with patience, but it did not go very well. So let's put a little opportunity into this experience over here, where we can dive more into that opportunity to work on patience. This is what most understand as karma. So yes, it is carried forth from lifetime to lifetime, but actually many of those lifetimes are happening at the same time. And it is all an ongoing process of integrating the many opportunities that being in form offers and learning from them. Is there another?
Thank you. Rain asks, is the ringing we sometimes hear or vibration we hear when meditating, is that strictly a physical thing, or is there more meaning to that?
Understand that all physical manifestations have an underlying cause at an energetic level. You may experience it at a physical level, but it is a phenomenon of what is happening in awareness. Many of you now are feeling a bit of pressure in the head from the higher energy that you are experiencing in this moment. It is an energetic vibration that you are not normally interacting with in your normal waking consciousness. For some of you, you are actually experiencing in this moment a ringing in your ears. Not always is ringing in the ears, or what you would know as tinnitus, the result of an angel at your side. There are various causes. However, if you experience such a ringing, a tingling, excessive heat, or such pressure, headaches, or anything that you would call unpleasant while in a state of meditation, you need merely understand that you can ask for that energy to be backed off just a little bit, and comfort will ensue. And so we can feel that many of you are having a bit of a challenge holding the focus during our extended session with you today. And we will end the questions with that one, for it is a good opportunity for us to once again emphasize for all of you that you are connected with each other and with us, the angels and guides who surround you always at an energetic level. You may not be able to see what we have labeled cords, but you have most likely seen images of spider webs. Bring such an image to your mind now and understand that that is how we see the connections with all expressions of God, of source, of consciousness. And you and all of us are found at the intersections of all of these strands of love. And by thinking of loved ones across the veil and loved ones across the world from where you find yourselves now, you light up the various strands. It is an ongoing, energetic, buzzing hive of interactive exchange of consciousness, strands lighting up and going out. Can you feel the energy right now? Zzz, 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 such as that. This is what is happening, and you are part of that. Every thought you have is felt by the entire web of which you are a part. And that is why we wish you never to feel helpless or useless. Every one of you makes a difference. All are equal in this regard. What you send out is felt and received. We send you many blessings. In your greatest times of needs, one of our greatest tasks is to remind you you are not alone, and that is your thoughts which will affect your peace in the moment. And so we return to the beginning and remind you that remaining here and now in the moment, lessening the wandering mind, returning to the heart moment by moment, is where you will find peace, love, and us. For if you were to call God joy, this world is joy us. Be joyous, dear friends, and celebrate. You are so very loved. We bid you good day. Thank you, everybody. Give me just a second here. Okay. Take a sip of water. Okay. Well, this is the part that's hard when we do an online thing. I wish I could bring you all on screen right now and see you all. I hope that you feel the connection I do. I have to take my eyes off the screen for a minute and just connect with my beautiful group of friends here. And thank you all so much. Beautiful, beautiful time together. And the time together with all of you. You all made that possible. And I hope that whatever we all experience together, that we can carry that forward. We'll get this online, and I hope that you'll share it with those you feel will receive it with love and that it will help them. I want to thank again, Bev and Lynette. Would you both unmute yourself and just say something so you get to say goodbye to everybody? Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That was incredibly powerful. I can't wait to read the transcript again. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I want to tell you that I'm right here with my other wonderful friend and assistant, Debbie Henson, who does all the transcripts, has done them for years, transcribes Sanaya's words. So it's a thrill for her to be here present for that as well. So we will get a written transcript and the video and audio out to all of you. Private link for the full session, and then just the session will get online within a few days. But I just have to tell you, a lot of people, as we just come down, I don't want to just cut this off, right? A lot of people always say, what's that like for you? And it's I once had a woman on my radio show who had a near-death experience. And as she was involved in a bicycle accident, her awareness shifted into two distinct states. She was aware of being dragged under a car on her bike, while aware of watching it from a separate place. And for me, that's what this experience is like. I'm aware of the words coming through, yet the human side of me is also listening and saying, oh, wow, at the same time. In the human mind, I'm aware of the need for me to not filter a single word, to hold this connected state. And that's just taken years of training. And so when I'm starting to waver a little, that's when Sanaya notices that and says, turn up the energy. So it's a suspended awareness for the whole time. That felt like it went a long time. And right now, it's just this high that comes from feeling that connection with them and all of you, the total bliss. So it'll be high for a little while, and it's beautiful. And I hope you feel it as well. I hope you can feel my genuine love for everyone, my love for all of you. And I thank you again, Jennifer Mercer. We're not going to try to find you and bring you back on, but blessings to you and everyone, down to the every level of people that supports care camps. If you can send us a video or something, or that we can put online that people can watch to see where their money went, that would be beautiful. But let's just take a moment so we don't just cut this off. Let's just all close our eyes for a moment. Connect across the veil with the hundreds who are gathered right now, with gratitude to Spirit, to ourselves, and to each other for what we've gained today. Thank you so much. All right. I love you all. Until the next time, have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.